This one. Be able to see this one. Who's with me? I'm trying to set up these decorations. Setting up the setting up the wild decorations. There we go. They look weird. Hey, Lynn, how are you? Michael, hello. Minnie C. In the house. Hello, hello. Hi from Iowa. Hey, Martha. Beautiful people. Hello. Hi. Cheryl D. Lynch. Danielle. Jane. Yeah. Okay. We're coming in the building. Lindy's here. 22 plus 22 equals 2025 championship. Charlotte, North Carolina. We got Houston. We got Iowa. Lynn says exciting news. Mrs. B. Stacy. Hi, howdy. Hello. I'm still 100%. Hello from Iowa. More Iowa in the house. Hello. Massachusetts, Nebraska. Howdy. Raleigh. Okay. Canada. Yes. Let's go. Florida. Hello, everybody. Batting 1,000, Miss Stacy says. Okay. Good evening. Yep. On CC at Airs Tour Concert Watch. Saying hi from Vancouver, Canada. Hello. Yes. Blessings, Georgina. Blessings. Kentucky, Atlanta. Wow. Cleveland. Wow, we are everywhere. More Iowa, California, Chicago, Nashville. Hello, New Jersey. Erie Cliff from New Jersey, Maryland, Detroit. Wow, okay. Are you going to watch college ball this year? Keep an eye. Iowa. Yes, I do intend to do that. I got to figure out how to watch. How do I watch is what I'm looking for. I want to watch the Pacers as well, the Indiana Pacers. How do I watch? I know it's not going to come free. At least the Pacers, I'm gonna have to pay like I probably have to pay like I paid for the WNBA League Pass. Well, TNT, yeah, but I want to see. If you want to see all of them, you can't just do TNT. You got to get something where you can catch it all. Arkansas in the house. Ohio. I need to turn my fan on. Okay, because hot flash already. Woo! The Big Ten Network, maybe so. Yeah, okay. I'll check it out. I'll see what the price is because I already have heard that this Iowa team is looking exciting. I mean, I know it's early, right? But I think they just had an exhibition. Where are the kiddies? Actually, one is over there. And the other one's up here, upstairs. He's often in the basement when I do this, but he's there. So they are giving each other space. Albuquerque, New Mexico. $13 a month? Man, that's a lot. Don't you think? Maybe not for all the games. WNBA League Pass was so cheap. Okay, so new coach. Yep. That's what I wanted to talk about for a little bit. Who do you think Coach White will try to get to come and play for the Fever? Well, I don't know. We'll have time to kind of talk about that. We've been talking about that. Actually, of course, we weren't talking about her per se in that conversation, although we have been talking about her. My league pass was the same price. Okay. Juju is on ESPN on Monday. Okay. Big Ten Plus subscription. You can watch all non-televised games, and Peacock will have televised. That's what I wanted to check. If I had Peacock, I might have Peacock already. I was meant to check that the other day. Yeah, I hope it's that too. Anyway, okay. If you are in here, please hit that like button. So appreciate it. Well, you guys know the news came and I was working. And I had to take, after a while, not right away, but after a while, I had to take a break so that I could put out a video. So I did put out the video. Yes, he mentioned this on his live stream. What did he mention, Leslie? What exactly did he mention? But yeah, I took a break. I took a break to do the video, and then I've done another video about Nissa Smith. And there are some things I want to talk about pertaining to Stephanie White, of course. I know she's done an interview. Right now, she's working the Cavs game. So she's doing the commentating right now for that. She is multitasking. Oh, Latricia Trammell might be the Sky new head coach. God bless her. She seems like a really nice person. Maybe that's what they need. Hello, Greenwich Grocery Girl. They need to call Gabby Marshall for some defense. I think she's done playing basketball. But yeah, yes. So let me ask this. I want to make some comments. I want you guys to hold off your comments after a while, and then I want to show you a few things, make a few comments, and then have you come back and make some comments. But how many of you do you keep Nissa Smith? I did a whole video on that. A couple. Has it even been 2 hours? Do you keep her and use her as a trade to get something for her, or do you let her go to the value? Yeah, I don't know what they should do. I just say do something. I mean, you could probably get somebody for her, right? Whatever you got to do. I don't know that they're going to do that, though. I don't know if they're going to have grace and mercy on her or not. I just know for me, the deal breaker was the video with Dejanay making fun of the eye poke. That's me. So leave her unprotected. You could do that. If you leave her unprotected, maybe it takes away the sting a little bit. Maybe not. It's probably going to hurt regardless, Fever Nation, Philippines in the house. Yep, she's not trustworthy. I agree, CJ. Okay. Not everybody is excited about today's news. We've been talking about it for some time. I had on Martin from Livewire Sports Media. We talked about it. I've done a couple videos about it because I know there's some concerns about it. I am actually going to be doing a live on Livewire Sports channel tomorrow. And that was already planned. That was already planned before today. We planned that Sunday or Monday that I would come on his show. And so I'm going to do that. It's going to be 5:30 Eastern tomorrow, Livewire Sports. So make sure you subscribe to his show. He's been calling the Stephanie White thing for quite some time. And when he was on my show a couple weeks ago, a lot of people said it was really, really helpful. Our conversation about Stephanie White was really helpful as well. So that's supposed to be 5:30 Eastern. I'm on Central Time, so 4:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern tomorrow. So Livewire Sports Media, check it out. Subscribe over there. And again, we had that planned before the news today. We just knew that we were going to be talking about everything with Christy Sides and talking about Stephanie White, but not knowing, at least I didn't, that they were going to announce this today. Okay. I have concern. Okay, so Unrivaled. Yeah. All right. So let's start. Hey, April. Okay, 307 in the chat. Wonderful. 97 likes. Can we do better? I want to know where you stand. This is what I want to talk about because there are people who are excited about the news. There are other people who are not excited at all and concerned. I even saw a comment today that said, I'm done with the WNBA. Somebody commented that on the video about Stephanie White. I'm done with the video. Lots of people are excited. Several people, a lot of people not excited. Yep, there will always be someone who disagrees, Jolly. So true. But what about those of you who are in the chat right now? If you are happy with this announcement, Stephanie White being the head coach of the Indiana Fever, Can you put a 1 in the chat? If you are not, put a 2 in the chat. Just make it simple. 1. All right. All ones. Okay, I got a 2. 1, 2, 1. So mostly 1s, some 2s. Stephanie White over Christy Sides. It's coming real fast. Somebody's lukewarm. 1s and 2s. 1s. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. I'm excited. Stephanie White is a huge fan of Kaitlin's, has been a winning player and coach. All right. Athens. Okay. 1, 1, 1, 3. I don't know what 3 means. 1.5. Okay. Her statement made a huge, he made a huge statement. 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay. So we're going to get into this. Thank you. I was kind of wondering. So I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And so, if you keep making comments, which feel free to do that, but I'm not going to see them right now because I kind of want to focus on a few things. I want to talk a little bit without addressing comments, and then we can open up the comments again. So I think it's cool. Don't forget this weekend we changed the clock. We changed the time. And so what a great opportunity, I guess, for new beginnings, not just in terms of time, the clock, but it's a new beginning for the Indiana Fever. I'll call it a new beginning, right? Because Sunday we did a little party and I used those same old, I don't know what you call them, funny looking decorations. And so again, I'm going to hold off on the comments. Sunday, we had a new beginnings party. This is another new beginnings party. We got the news that Christy Sides was leaving. When I say a party, not partying because of Christy Sides. Don't wish her ill at all, as I've said repeatedly. But most of us knew, not everybody, but most of us felt like she wasn't the person for the team. So the new beginnings that we're celebrating are for the Indiana Fever. Now, it's a new time. And some of the concerns I'm hearing, and I'm imagining this is the case for those of you who put 2 in, which means you don't agree with this decision. I'm going to say what some of the things that I've heard, and I've already addressed many times now. People are saying, and it was how I felt early on, weeks ago. We had Alyssa Thomas, we had Dejanay Carrington, we had Dewana Bonner, and they more than they're bully ball kind of people. And the attacks on Kaitlin, in particular, the eye gouge from Dejanay, has people saying, oh my goodness, have you forgotten? I saw that today. Do you people have amnesia? Do you know what they did to Kaitlin? Do you know how they treated Kaitlin? And Stephanie White was the coach. And they said the fans were racist. And Stephanie White was the coach. So, talking about the physicality part, I said that I felt the same way. Then there were people like April, who I think is still in the chat. There were people like Livewire Sports who gave me a different perspective. And the perspective was that sometimes, and I know it firsthand, sometimes there's more than meets the eye. So the last time I did a live, which was Sunday, I said, can anybody who doesn't want Stephanie White here, can anybody give any examples of Stephanie White giving a thumbs up to dirty, violent, over-the-top physicality play? And not one person I saw could give an example of that. And so that's my point, or what I had heard other people say. At the top, sometimes there are people you just are not allowed to touch from the top. People like Alyssa Thomas, who is not new to playing a certain way, and DiJonai Carrington, who seems like she's completely out of control? Is it possible that Stephanie White's hands were tied? We know she's always loved Kaitlin Clark. She's been watching her play basketball since she was in 8th grade. Kaitlin was in 8th grade. I always remembered what she said earlier in the season when everybody was saying Kaitlin is in over her head and all this talk. It was Stephanie White first who said, chill out. So I say again, for those who are worried about the violence, do we have any indication that Stephanie White was out to get Kaitlin Clark? In fact, yes, I know. I had just said that, Cliff. Yep, she's calling that game. In fact, there's a picture out there, and some people are reading that picture to mean that Stephanie White was disgusted with DiJonai, because I think she's looking at DiJonai, something DiJonai had just done concerning Kaitlin, and there's a look on her face, and I don't know, I can't read the look as that, but there are people who said when they look at that, they see a coach who's disgusted with what she sees from her players. And somebody else had pointed out in one of the lives that after DiJonai did the little eye gouge thing, not so little eye gouge thing, she took DiJonai off of Kaitlin, off of defending Kaitlin. So, and she left with a year in her contract. Is it possible that she wanted absolutely nothing to do with it? Is it possible she wanted out big time? Is it possible her hands were tied? And you know what? AT is out of control. DiJonai is out of control. The prisoners run the asylum, so to speak, and that there was nothing she could do about it. Because someone said last time, well, you could bench them. You can't bench them if up atop of you is saying don't touch them. Now, I don't know that that's the case. This is all speculation. I got to look at your history. When I look at DiJonai, one of the reasons people were so willing to believe that she purposely tried to hurt Kaitlin is because of her track record. When Alyssa Thomas does something, we go back to her track record. The clothesline of Angel Reese, for example, the dirty play. So when they get accused of doing something dirty, we look back at what they've done and we go, yeah, they have a track record of doing that. I asked you guys to look back at Stephanie White. Nobody can say there's any reason that they believe that she has some kind of history of doing that. And we already know how she feels about Kaitlin. So I felt like, at first I was like, I don't know, look what she allowed. But sometimes it's a culture, and you realize that you're in over your head in that even. I said Christy Size was in over her head with Kaitlin Clark as far as X's and O's. Maybe Stephanie White was in over her head with those players. I don't know. So I don't get any impression whatsoever that she was co-signing violent behavior. I just don't. So, and I can go back. I know you say, well, she's the coach. The buck stops here. Well, let me take you back to my first year coaching. I come in. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the culture. I knew already they had been well coached, but I knew that the discipline was not there. Me, being a student of Coach Pat Summitt from Tennessee, man, I'm excited about it. I'm going to enforce discipline. You're going to be on time. You're going to work hard. You're going to do the right thing. And yes, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm thinking. I go in there. They're not disciplined. They are resentful of me because I'm coming in and I'm trying to right the ship. They want to come to practice whenever they feel like it. And so what do? I go to administration. I'm like, listen, I want to close the door. I want to close the door of the 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, whatever it is. If they're not here, we're closing and locking the door. They're not getting in the gym to practice, which means they can't play in the next game or they can't start, however it worked, depending on whether we had a game the next time or however I did it. That didn't go over well either. And they mumbled and they complained. This is my first year coaching. And if I could have been run away, if I could have run out the gym, if they could have run me away, I'd have run away. But I couldn't be run away. I didn't play for Coach Summit. No, I love Coach Summit. I modeled my coaching after her. And I know that she was a disciplinarian. And so am I. I'm fun, but when it came to basketball, it's like, listen, do the right thing. Do everything like you're supposed to. So I tried all that. They resented it. It was tough, especially in the beginning. I believe this was the first away game with this team. I'm just trying to tell you that sometimes it's not you as a coach. So first away game, as I recall, we get there, we play the game. I don't even remember who won the game, but I didn't win a whole lot of games my first season. So it's a good chance we lost. But when the game is over and they come out of the locker room and we're getting ready to get on the bus, the police are there. The cops are there, and the cops are coming to me, telling me that they want to search my players. Why? Good evening. They want to search my players. Why? Because things were stolen from that team's locker room. Jewelry was missing. Some money was missing. I don't know what else was missing. But as the coach, I'm telling these officers, no, you are not going to search my players. But it was a big thing. Like, they didn't want us to leave and get on the bus. Let me just keep it real. We're at a school, predominantly, if not all white players on this team. My team at the time, mostly black players. I'm the black coach, first year coaching. A lot of these players, keeping it real, would say things like, oh, man, it would be so cool to have a black coach. Oh, yeah, it would be so cool. And then they put me in a situation where I got the police looking at me, talking about, we got to search your players. Well, I didn't allow them to search. They had no right to search. But we get back home, and now I got it was either superintendent of the school or the principal. It might have been the principal, and the athletic director is in on it. And here's the thing. Your team is no longer playing away games until we find out who did what. It's a wrap, and you will forfeit every one of those games. I got players who are seniors who want to play. I had one player in particular who had dreams of playing in the WNBA. It was just WNBA hadn't been around that long at that time at all, and she wanted to play. And now what are they saying? You're not going to be able to play away games anymore. Somebody's got to fess up. We want to know where the jewelry is, where the money is, where the clothing is, the stuff that they left in the locker room, this other team. And they're looking at me. I know I did everything I could to preach integrity, to talk about discipline. And now, you know what they say, snitches get stitches. So they don't like to tell on nobody. But if you don't tell and we don't find out, our season is is a wrap, because we're not going to play any away games. And the pressure came from them. The pressure came. And eventually, I get to find out. Somebody comes to me crying, admitting what happened. Somebody else was like, oh, yeah, I had something to do with it. Why is she crying? Like, they totally didn't get it. And then these players are saying to me, well, they were stupid to leave their stuff out. If you leave stuff out in the locker, then you can expect it to be taken. Or we didn't take that much. And I'm thinking, it wasn't yours. Keep your hands off of other people's stuff. This is how my coaching career started, okay? Now, again, people are looking at me. I'm the coach. How do you have a team where that happens? And sometimes the things that you want to do to build in your team, you don't always get. Thankfully, we did have administration who said it's going to be a wrap if you don't step up. But throughout my coaching career, there have been times when I wanted to do things where I felt things were going to help team chemistry, etc. And I was like, what? You're requiring that of your team? And it was looked at as something that I wasn't supposed to do. I was overstepping. I say all that to say this. It happens. There's a lot that can go on that we don't know about. Now, I stuck it out and it got better. And then subsequent years were really better. But that first year, I mean, they raked me over the coal. And I'm not a pushover. But they had been in the system for a long time. And those who had coached them were not about the discipline that I was about, although he was a great coach. And so when you come in talking about that discipline, you're the bad guy. So I don't know what the deal is with Stephanie White. I don't know about Dejanay. I don't know what it is. I know this. I'm willing to give her a chance, and I'm not willing to put on her shoulders all the things that the Connecticut Sun did. Just saying. Now, I didn't like what she said after the Connecticut game when they asked her about what Alyssa Thomas has said about how horrible Indiana Fever's fans are and the racism and Alyssa Thomas used that time to try to denigrate Kaitlin Clark's fans. But I do know when they asked Stephanie White about it, when it was her turn to sit at the table, she was taken off guard by the question. She didn't even know that the question had been asked. They told her what her team said. I don't even remember if they specifically said the Indiana Fever fans. They may have. I don't remember. But I do know that they asked her a question. She said that some of the team had dealt with racism, and she did seem a little bit woke to me, but she seemed like she was kind of treading the line. She calls some people trolls. She said racism has been dealt with, people had to deal with racism, had to deal with homophobia, they had to deal with sexism. She said that. And she also said, though, that we got to understand reality, and some of these folks are trolls. So I felt like she was trying to balance it. Maybe she was in a tough situation. Maybe she believed everything she said. I really don't know. But I say again, I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. So I'm not gonna. I know we can be less forgiving than even Kaitlin Clark. Kaitlin Clark is the one that got poked in the eye, right? And I told you guys in the video a few days ago, keep the talent happy. I believe that they would have consulted with Kaitlin Clark about bringing in Stephanie White. And she made it clear that Stephanie White has a great basketball IQ. And she's excited about having her there. So continuing to say, well, look at what she co-signed with her team. We don't know that, and we know she's up and out of there. She wants out. She got out. And she had a contract. Now, I know she has some family things going on. I don't know what all those things were. I shouldn't say I know she does. I know she said she has some family things going on, and not laughing about it. And that she had a stressful time. Maybe they let her out because of that. I don't know, but we got her. And not only that, for those of you who are 2 and you weren't sure, or 1.5 and you weren't sure, she's a good coach. 2023 Coach of the Year, 2023 All-Star Coach. We can watch and tell. Her record tells she's a good coach. She knows how to coach defense. I feel very certain that Kaitlin Clark is not going to be standing in a corner. I feel very certain that she's going to have some things in her back pocket when the game is on the line where she doesn't take Kaitlin out of the play. She's more experienced. She calls games. She's doing that right now, the Cavs game. And so they're going to play better defense, even though Christy Sides is known for defense, supposedly. Well, we saw that they were not a good defensive team. Okay? And she is glad to be closer to her family. That's where she's from. She went to Purdue. She played for the Fever. She was the associate coach when they won the championship. Before Christy Sides, I believe she was the coach the last time the Fever went to the playoffs. I think she was the coach. She's got a huge, tremendous upside. So the comment today from someone who said, I'm done with the WNBA because she came in. I don't know why I told you guys a few live streams ago, a couple weeks ago or so more when we started talking about it. I didn't even know why. But I had a certain excitement about the thought of Stephanie White coming. I don't even know why. It's not like I'm some big, huge Stephanie White fan. I just had a good feeling. And maybe that was me just knowing it was going to happen. But people mention Mark Jackson. People mention Larry Bird. Mark Jackson more likely than Larry Bird. But I'm like, really? People mention Cheryl Miller. Even though she said she didn't want to coach. The Lisa Bluter thing was a big thing. I kept saying over and over again, people wanted to tell me I was wrong. Look, I said it wasn't going to be Lisa Bluter. And I explained to you guys why. And I did a video last night, and I explained why again. So it's Stephanie White. And she's people mention her alongside Cheryl Reeve. And no matter what we feel about Cheryl Reeve concerning her comments about Kaitlin Clark, ain't nobody going to sit up here and say Cheryl Reeve ain't a great coach. Ain't nobody going to say that. And I don't find there going to be too many people saying that about Stephanie White. Now, the eyes are going to be there. So now I'm hearing people saying, I hope she's ready for the scrutiny. I hope she's ready. Yeah, but this isn't her first rodeo. I did a video, I don't know, maybe a month ago when we started talking about free agents or people who wanted to play for the Fever. And I said, these are the kinds of people these people better line up here, whatever. And I said, don't come over here if you don't want eyes on you. I was talking about players. But it's the same thing with the coach. Any coach like Stephanie White, who knows what she's doing and she knows what she's seeing, she knows this isn't going to be easy because we are scrutinizing your every move. It's good for the league, though, because everybody's going to want to see how this goes. Okay? But she knows the pressure's on. She knows what Christy Sides could not do and what she did well, like team building and stuff. She understands that. I don't know anything about the Fever assistants, except I always wondered why didn't they seem to be able to give some insight to Christy Sides where she was missing it. Maybe they tried. Maybe she wasn't listening. I don't know anything about them at all. I didn't know anything about Christy Sides either until I started watching this season. But again, this isn't her first rodeo. The scrutiny is going to come. But here's what I believe. I said before, and I'm saying it again. Thank you, Pamela, for that donation, as well as being a member of the channel. There is no such thing as a perfect hire. Okay, so if you're looking for that, it's sort of like elections. If you're looking for the perfect candidate, I'm not going to vote till we have a perfect candidate. You'll never vote. It's this, unless Jesus is on the ticket, it's just not happening. Okay? So you pick the people you pick someone who aligns most with your values in terms of principle, not personality, principles. policies. And so it is with coaching. I can look at Stephanie White and say, okay, she's going to teach defense. She understands from her statement today, she understands that this is about winning a title. And she understands that these are the greatest fans in the world. That was the subtle, not so subtle, gentle message that she put out. She made a point of saying that because in the midst of her old teammates putting down Indiana Fever fans, she let us know from day one, I'm not buying into that. I don't buy into that. These are the best fans in the world. And who else, who would know better than she? She played in Indiana in the college, won a national championship. She won a championship with the Fever after playing with the Fever, and she was a coach. These are the best fans in the world. Don't y'all get it twisted, she's saying. Fans, I see you. I haven't bought all that troll stuff. All right? So she pointed that out, and she talked about the phenomenal player she has. And then she talked about this phenomenal moment in women's basketball. But she started with the marquee player. Smart. In other words, I know what we got here. Something that Christy Sides didn't realize when Kaitlin came. She said so herself. Lynn Dunn said so herself. That's why they didn't have enough jerseys. That's why they didn't have the merch. That's why they were caught off guard with all the people coming. It was like they just didn't get it. Stephanie White has been following Kaitlin Clark since 8th grade. She's been calling her college games. She was the first one Kaitlin went to speak to after the first game of this WNBA season. Kaitlin herself said she has a high basketball IQ. She's never said that about Christy Sides. They already have somewhat of a relationship and a respect for each other. When she was calling Caitlin's game, I played this in one of the videos I did the other day. She commented, we've never seen a player like Kaitlin Clark before. We've never seen a women's basketball player like this before. They asked her, which of the people in the draft do you feel is most ready for the WNBA? Everybody else talking about there are levels to this thing. You've got Gino who's saying, oh, her fans are stupid. They think she's going to come in and make such a great impact. Stephanie White said before Kaitlin Clark played the game, which one do you think is ready? Kaitlin? She's already a believer, and she understands. She understands the talent she has. And so does the president, Krosskoff, and so does the new general manager, Cox. And that's why they didn't come in to half do it. I said that from the beginning when I said Lynn Dunn was going to go, and people said, oh, she'll never go. When I said that Christy Sides was going to go, oh, she won't go. And some even said she deserved to stay. And I said, nobody is bringing in these people to water the plants. They're bringing in these people to turn things upside down or right side up. Basketball might just be entertainment for us, but to them, basketball is a business, and this is Indiana, y'all. They want to win. They ain't coming in there to just fiddle their, So if they brought her in, you heard Kelly Krosskoff's statement. She said, there is no one else that I feel confident about, but she is the one, Stephanie White. So is she going to stumble here and there? Yeah, coaching, you stumble all the time. Will she have more eyes on her? Yeah. But let me tell you what I think is going to be different. I said weeks ago, I believe that Kaitlin Clark will enter the second season of her career with the swagger that she did not have in the first season. I don't think she's going to be, because she was like a deer. I don't think she expected this. She had no idea that she was going to be greeted in this way. She's thinking, oh my goodness, I'm living my dream. I'm in the draft. I'm going to be playing for the WNBA. Thank you, Leslie. So appreciate that. Yeah. Kaitlin, it's like that new boyfriend you get. You look at this guy from afar and you think he's so wonderful, and oh my goodness, I would so like if he asked me out or whatever. And then you spend like 5 minutes with him and you go, oh my goodness, can somebody pull the fire alarm so I can get out of here? So, yeah, Indiana's playing Pelicans. All right. Okay, I got to get into this Pacers game. I haven't watched the Pacers since back when Reggie Miller and Mark Jackson. So Kaitlin was caught off guard. She didn't know that the hate she was going to have to endure. Again, not from everybody, but it don't have to be from anybody. It just takes one or two people to make you get a serious reality check. And not in terms of her skill, like Diana Taurasi said, even though she got to improve there too. Everyone does. But in terms of the culture, the DNA, she grew up loving these people. Maya Moore and Cheryl Swoops and other people who badmouthed her, other people who came after her. She grew up thinking this is going to be so wonderful. And they didn't want her, many of them. And they treated her like that. But I think this second season, it's going to be different. There's going to be a certain swagger that she already has a certain swagger, but she lost some of her swagger. She had a certain swagger in college that she wasn't able to have in the beginning of this season. For real. But not only that, with the scrutiny, let me tell you something about the difference between Christy Sides and Stephanie White. Stephanie White is respected among coaches and players. Christy Sides was not. There's some things that people are, I'm not trying to say that they're not going to put pressure on Kaitlin. I'm not trying to say that they're not going to be trying to dog Kaitlin. I'm not saying that they're not going to talk about the privilege and all that. But I do believe that people can smell fear a mile away. And you could smell the fear from Christy Sides. Do you think Noelle Quinn, and I hear, she calls herself, I don't know what she calls herself, but she, big and bad, and she'll tell you. I don't know that I believe that Noelle Quinn would get up in Stephanie White's face in the way she got up in Christy Sides' face, because Christy Sides made a decision about when she was going to pull her starters on her own team. I don't see that. I don't see Noelle Quinn doing that to Stephanie White. I just don't. And what did Christy Sides do? She ended up apologizing. It seemed like, I'm sorry that I didn't consult you about how I coach my team. Like, who do you think you are? But that they knew that yeah, she said she was a gangster. That's right. She's a Christian gangster. But they knew what they got with Christy Sides. They knew the players who were so physical, the coaches. Remember the time I did the whole video about how Teresa Weatherspoon wouldn't even hardly shake her hand? And then I showed the other videos of her hugging all the other ones. Now, in the next game she did, but in that first game it was like, she didn't want to touch Christy Sides. She has such little respect for her. Thank you. Gifted one, the Adrienne. Oh, I don't even know about that. You can gift a membership? How does that work? I don't even know how that works. I thank you for being a member. But they knew that Christy Sides was not a person who was going to go to bat for Kaitlin Clark. You could tell that. She wasn't going to go to bat. She got 2 technicals all year. In a season where, what did they say? 17%? Was it 17% of the flagrant fouls were against Kaitlin Clark? Do I have that right? And most of them came from the Chicago Sky. And how do you walk out of that season with only 2 technicals? One of them was after you had said, she said, these players need to stop getting technicals. Let me get the technical. But you weren't getting them. And then she went out and got it the next game. Okay, great. She did get another one, I think at the end of the season there. But there was a lot going on. And I'm not saying you should go out there and act like a complete idiot. Absolutely not. I mean, I coached for 6 years and I got 1 technical. That was it. So I'm not saying that. How are you guys gifting this? I don't know how that works. But thank you. Oh, wow. Cool. Wow, you guys are so generous. Thank you for doing that. Wow. I didn't even, man, YouTube has all kinds of stuff I didn't know about. So I appreciate that. But I got 1 technical in 6 years of coaching. But, you know, I'm not like out of, you know, I used to feel like I was like, ah. And then I would have people say to me, it's so amazing how you're able to keep your composure. On the inside, I'm like, what? I'm keeping my composure. I've had a parent confront me and I had to have something say with parents. It's not easy doing this stuff, even on a high school level, when you're dealing with those outside pressures that we're talking about. But Stephanie White is going to have things to deal with, as every coach does, and even more so because the eyeballs are on you. But I'm telling you, there's going to be a different approach to her and even to the team under her leadership than there was under Christy Sides, because they didn't have the respect for Christy Sides. Why? Because she's a nice person and you might have liked her as a nice person, but it was obvious she was in over her head. It really was. And I say that with all due respect. Now, can White coach offense? Here's another thing. Some people are saying in the comments in other videos, well, I hope she doesn't try to slow it down. Oh, thank you so much, Stephanie White. I came to the fever for one reason only, to make sure I get talked about by Adrienne Ross. It's so funny. Yeah, and you know what's so funny? I don't know what it is about her, why I feel good about it, even though I have, some concerns like everyone else. But I thought today, and I was like, it would be cool if I got to meet Stephanie White. Only coach I ever felt like that about was like Van Chancellor of the Houston Comets and Pat Summitt. I used to literally dream of getting to sit on the bench with Pat Summitt. But I'm not one of those people who goes around and is like, oh, I would just like to meet that coach. That's just not me. And I still don't feel like, oh, what if, but I had the thought and I was like, man, that would be kind of cool if I don't know what it is, because that's not like me, but it just makes me feel that there's something right about this. I don't know. That's all I can say. So Rex, thank you. You're batting 1,000. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, Christy Sides, we could all see she couldn't get it done in that way. She could do the team building. There was growth. And she learned to kind of get out of the way. She grew a backbone a little bit and said, Nissa Smith, you're coming off the bench. Lexi Hall finally made it into the starting lineup. But that's why another thing too, in leadership here, if you're going to bring in good players, I said this in a video before, they don't want to play for Christy Sides. You got to getting rid of Christy Sides gave you a bigger table to negotiate with. Because if you want to win a championship, if you want to play with Kaitlin Clark, you want to do it with an opportunity to win. And for those people who said that Christy Sides deserved another year, I got to say, you don't understand how this works. You don't squander a player so that you can, let the coach come along. She deserves it. She's, you don't do that. It's a business. So I can't, Pat Summitt, we miss you. Thank you so much. I used to dream about meeting Adrienne. But yeah, you don't say, you can't, that's why it's hard. It's sometimes hard and your emotions get in the way and you go, oh, I feel bad for Christy Sides because she's learning, she's growing. I see growth. Yeah, but at what cost? I mean, Kaitlin did a whole lot in her first year with her. Imagine what she would have done differently in a situation. And you know what? And I know I need to do a video about this. Guys, if I missed it, tell me. But I didn't see one comment from any Indiana Fever player saying thank you, Christy Sides, when it was announced that she left. Did I miss it? What did they put comments out in the public saying thank you, Christy Sides? Please tell me if you saw that. No, I was thinking I got to do a video on that. That's, to me, that I feel for Christy Sides. But Christy Sides supposed to be good defense. But I didn't see one, not even from Kaitlin. Now go back to when the first was, I think Teresa Weatherspoon, I think, was the first coach let go. And I think she did a disservice to Angel Reese by the way she was supposedly trying to help her with the record, double-double. But did you guys see how Angel Reese responded to Teresa Weatherspoon being let go? Somebody joked on social media and said, "My goodness, is she leaving coach? Is she leaving coaching your team, or did she pass away?" Because she sounded like it was just terrible. I mean, but she at least got out there and said, I'm gonna go on record and I'm gonna show my love for her. I haven't heard one Indiana Fever player say anything publicly about Christy Sides. Guys, that tells me something. That's weird to me. That's odd. And then Christy Sides posted and said, leave it better than you found it. Okay. I'm with you right there. I'm tracking with you. But she followed that up with the peace sign. And she blocked it so that nobody could leave a comment unless she follows you, which I don't have a problem with, especially if you realize that social media can be a cesspool. And you know, maybe she did what we've been telling the players to do, and that is cut it off. But she made a statement. But the peace sign said, I'm out. Stephanie White, not a fan, but she's hooking me up. Yeah, well, delusional. I mean, she did leave it not better than it was in its DNA in the past, but she had a better record. She brought them forward from her first year. Of course, it was hard to get any worse, right? She did it again. So I can see her saying, leave it better than you found it. I can understand that. But the piece, and none of the players said anything. Meanwhile, though, Kaitlin, she let it be known what she thought. Let me share this screen. Because again, nobody makes these decisions without, I don't believe, at first I wasn't so sure, but really, you're trying to grow with this player? Yeah, you're going to want to know what she thinks. So let me go here. Let me share. I'm just figuring out how to be sharing the screen. So on this one. All right, so let's go here. I'm gonna share this. I'm assuming you can see it. So this is on Instagram, and this is where the Indiana Fever announced, we have named Stephanie White as our next head coach. Welcome home. Okay. Kaitlin Clark. What did she say? I liked it. I heard it. Feed show. It wasn't much to let us know that she was on board. Oh, you can't see it? I took it off now, but let me see if I can get it back. I want to know if you can see it. Share. Okay, now, can you see it now? No? But you can see it now? Okay, good. Yeah, I thought it was showing, but yeah. Okay, so here it is again. Here it is. Okay, they Indiana Fever shared this. Welcome back. And I love what they did here. I love this. The picture with the smile. Okay, yeah, it's up now. Everybody can see it now. Okay, great. It's the picture with the smile, because you know what? We're happy. We're friendly. You know, we got good relationships with people. But then this one right here. This is a serious one right here. Oh, yeah. This is a serious one right here. We're here. We're going to smile. We're glad to be here. It's going to be fun. Yeah, but we mean business. We mean business. Kaitlin Clark comes on And that's her way of saying, Feeve, show. I'm not sure what the show means other than I can tell she's happy about it. Is she saying we about to get down with showtime? Not much of a smile, but it is a little grin. It looks happy. You know, she's got, but not this one right here in the white and black. And Lexi was complimentary to Christy in a recent interview. That's good. I'm glad to hear that because it really, you know, kind of makes me sad, actually, because I know what she has to be feeling, you know, but it's still the right thing to do. I'm back now, right? Do you see me? You see me back? Am I back? Yes? Yes. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so that's one thing right there. Kaitlin is excited about it. She didn't even have to say a whole much, but she said it. She got it said. All right. Feeve show. She already respects her. She's been calling her games, right? So there's that. And then she's already she's working tonight. Stephanie White calling the game. So I'm going to try to share this again. Let's see how we do. Okay. Share screen. Now, can you see the screen with Stephanie White with the microphone with Ryan Rucco? Can you see that? Nope. I always got to press that extra button. Still no. Now, do you see it? Somebody say yes. How is it going to be yes and no? Now you can, right? Okay, good. I think it's just some of you are saying no. I don't know why, but if it's up there, it's up there. Okay, yeah, sometimes I guess there's a delay. So here this is. And it says here, where did I go? Where did she go? There she is. So new Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White can do both because she's calling this game. She's calling Magic Cav on ESPN hours after getting hired to coach the Indiana Fever. And then here they're talking.
It's just mentioned by Malika Andrews, the brand new head coach of the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White. First of all, congratulations, Stephanie. Meanwhile, before you get to that job, you got this one tonight. This is a Magic team with elevated expectations this year. They were off to a great start, but how did they survive being without Paolo Banchero for a minimum of 6 weeks?
Well, certainly there's not going to be one person who does what Paolo Banchero does. It's got to be by committee. You're going to play through Franz Wagner. He's got to be more assertive and more aggressive on the offensive end of the floor. The ball has to move a little bit more in the quarter court. Ball movement, player movement.
Okay, I just wanted to play a little bit of that. I like to hear the way she talks about the game. And then there.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay, yeah, interesting. You know what I noticed? But I always noticed number 22. As she was talking there, the guy shooting the free throw at the line was wearing number 22. I just noticed that. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, she's back home. Yeah, so I like to hear her talking like that. And then we were wondering, okay, well, when are they going to announce this, right? And, you know, Christy Sides is let go on Sunday. I believe it was Monday that we found out that the Connecticut Sun parted ways with her. And here it is all the way Friday. And I figured, if anything, give her a chance to get back home to Indiana, because once you announce it, then here comes all the media attention and all that. Give her a chance to get home, catch her breath a little bit. Then you make the announcement, and then you go from there. So, yeah, it is. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And let's look at one more thing here. One more thing. I'll share the screen. And hopefully you can see it. So here's a quote from Stephanie White. Back-to-back Rookie of the Years with Kaitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. What an outstanding moment we have in women's basketball. I have been watching Kaitlin Clark play since she was an 8th grader. excited to be working with her and this young team.
What made you want to take this job?
Well, first and foremost, it's home. I mean, this is a franchise in the Indiana Fever, Indiana Pacers that's in my DNA. Grew up in Indiana, played with the franchise, of course, a part of the franchise when we won the WNBA championship. And secondly, this young, exciting roster. You think about a generational player in Kaitlin Clark and back-to-back Rookie of the Years with Aaliyah Boston. Kelsey Mitchell, I think, had the best year of her career. It's just an exciting roster. What an outstanding moment we have in women's basketball right now, and to come back and be a part of it in my home state with my home franchise, it's just a unique opportunity, and I'm so thankful and grateful for it.
What made you want?
Okay. Yep. Again, it's refreshing. The view is black. Okay. Oh, really? I can't figure this out. But you guys heard it, right? So that's good. You get the point. We get the picture. I got to figure out how. I think I was supposed to hit another button, but it told me I was sharing it. Anyway, you got to hear it. So, this is what we have. And I know that there are some people, there were lots of twos in there, people who said that they weren't excited about it. Anybody have I changed anybody from a 2 to a 1? Anybody started with a 2 and you're at a 1 now? And I don't mean me changing it. I mean just talking about things as they are. You got to click the other button. Yeah, I think I do have to click the other button. I did that the other time, this one. So Scorpion is still not excited. Okay, not sure why, Scorpion. You could let us know. Angie says she's okay. Angie has a change here. What happens when a WNBA franchise built around 1 or 2 and they get injured off season? Diana, you know what? That's the thing. I heard something today. Rachel Demita did a podcast on this, and she said that she's feeling more and more like Kaitlin will play for Unrivaled, but her sources are telling her that the WNBA or the Indiana Fever, I should say, I think, do not want her to play for Unrivaled. And I imagine part of the reason is injury. The possibility of injury. But I will say this, a franchise is always built around 1 or 2 players. There's already a player who went overseas. Was it Mika? Was it Nika Mule who went overseas and got injured right away? It happens. But they also have to work out. They've got to get prepared. They've got to compete. But every franchise really has a franchise player. And so, but they said, think about the big 3, which is made up of former NBA players. They don't allow NBA players to play in the big 3. They don't. And so Rachel Demita, following her podcast today, she said that's one reason. They just don't allow it. The WNBA, I'm so confused about this Unrivaled thing. Like it's a competing league in a way. I mean, I know they play in the off season, but they were allowed to go on a little media tour and talk about it. They were allowed to recruit people during the regular season. Like, who does that? So I find that interesting. And if, God forbid anybody gets hurt, but I mean, it's a chance. I knew that even in high school, there were coaches who wouldn't allow players to do open gym for another sport while they were still in season. I never put that restriction on them because I don't like making decisions based on fear. I just don't. I don't like making decisions. Like, oh no, you can't play volleyball in the open gym because you're still in basketball. I get it, but that's just not my nature. I just would rather say, you go out there, you trust God, and preferably you don't get hurt. All right. But I don't own you. So, but as far as Unrivaled, it seems to be I thought that she will come on board, but if the pressure from the Fever is that she won't, then I don't know. They're holding out for something. It's starting to get on my nerves, honestly, how they're doing this thing. Can White coach offense? Yeah, I'm sure she can. Oh, thank you for saying that again. Yeah, she wouldn't be. Yeah, she can coach offense. And now that you said that, it reminded me that what I wanted to say. Another concern that I have people have is that they say that can she coach the kind of offense that the Indiana Fever needs to play, because they didn't see that in Connecticut. And I'm saying this is a good coach. If she had went out there with DeWanna Bonner and AT trying to run and gun, no, it's not going to work, right? A good coach has got to adapt to the strengths of her team. She knows that with Kaitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell and prayerfully Aaliyah Boston comes in shape and whoever else they bring in, you got to be able to run. That's going to be the plan. You got to know how to play in the half court too. I mean, you do, because you're not always going to be able to get out on transition, but that should be your goal. So she's going to play to their strengths. That's what a good coach does. This isn't her first rodeo. If I got a team who can run, or if I have a rotation of people who can run, there are times when you want to run more depending on who's on the floor, and then maybe it's to your best interest to slow it down and bang a little bit depending on who you have on the floor with you, right? And so a coach has to be able to make those kinds of adjustments, something that I don't think Christy Sides, took her a really long time to figure out, because paint touches. She was so in that mindset that she didn't realize that's not the best way to run with this team. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go back and watch some of their games, because I still have WNBA League Pass. And if you have WNBA League Pass, then you can go back and watch. So I do want to go back and I do want to watch some of this stuff and just kind of see how she does, So the Unrivaled will absorb the W. I wonder if too about that. What did Scorpion say? I missed it. Do you think Unrivaled will succeed? Well, some people say they might succeed, but if Kaitlin Clark is in it, they would definitely succeed. April, I want to go back to something you asked a long time ago up there, but I remembered it. You asked, why did I leave watching the WNBA way back? Well, I missed the first year of the WNBA. I don't even think I knew it existed. And that was probably because I went through several years of my life where I didn't watch television at all. So I remember one day, second season, I turned the TV and I'm like, who is that point guard, number 10 on that team? Who is that? She's a fiery as all get out. It was Kim Peratt, Houston Comets. I didn't even know they had won the first championship. So I didn't just pick the championship team. I had no idea. I just knew from the start I love this team. And the Houston Comets won not only that first one that I missed, they won the second, they won the third, they won the fourth championship. I was dialed in. Life changes. The Houston Comets, Cynthia Cooper retires. The Houston Comets eventually folds. I got busy with other stuff and I totally lost interest. I was busy with other things. I would tune in here and there, watch some of the playoffs, kind of follow here and there, but I was not focused in at all. And when I thought about focusing in, Farrell, thank you. When I thought about focusing in again, they were doing all this stuff like, oh, we're going to walk off when they do the national anthem. We're going to do the whole woke stuff. Everybody got to let Black people know they matter, because if they didn't tell us, my goodness, how would we ever know? I mean, it was the woke thing. And as a patriotic person living in the greatest country on the face of the earth has its flaws, of course. There's a reason everybody trying to bust through the borders, or the non-existent border, or whatever you want to call it. And then to have these players like Brittany Griner acting like, oh my goodness. Yes, I was teaching English. Yep. Acting like this country was so horrible. And then you're going to get up and leave during the national anthem, and there's still teams who do that, by the way. Or you're not going to come out until after the national anthem. That didn't help bring me back. That didn't help any at all. So it was sort of like life gets busy. My favorite team left. Cynthia Cooper left. And then you got Cheryl Swoops in a Seattle Storm jersey. I'm like, what? Like, she's a Comet. So all those things. So I just kind of caught on here and there. And the only thing that brought me back was Kaitlin Clark. And I was excited to come back. I said, oh my goodness, this is going to be so much fun. I watched the draft. I thought it was all the hoopla. They for the most part, they looked like ladies. And it was like, this is going to be so much fun. Kaitlin Clark, it's going to be, I had no idea. I was blindsided like Kaitlin was. I had no idea that she was going to come into this league and they were going to try to prove Diana Taurasi right. And they were going to do everything in their power, pick her up 94 feet, just double, triple, blitz the stuff. And they go, well, what do you think we should do? Let her score? No, but my goodness, it's a game of offense. Like, all this stuff is ridiculous. It just was like, and then the throwing her on the floor and the poking her in the throat and all this stuff. I was like, Kaitlin, get your toys and leave, because I'm leaving too. But here's the thing. She stayed. And it looks like she's going to stay. So I'm here for it, So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yep, Detroit shock. Yep. And I like my first WNBA game was the Washington Mystics. Remember, Shamika Holsquaw came out of Pat Summitt's program. So now that we have Stephanie White, free agents, we got to be going for Satu Sabali, who has voiced an interest in playing with Kaitlin. Can anybody tell me? Because I don't know. Yeah, Leroy, I don't think so. I think we're good. First of all, who's coming in? Can you think of it? I don't know who wants to come into this league. You can look at the officiating and tell the officiating is horrible. You can look at the culture of the league and see that it's toxic. I hope it gets better. You can see that the commissioner, what is she doing? I mean, people who are sitting out enjoying retirement or people who are coaching in college, it's a step down to come into the league. It needs some turnaround, and perhaps it will. But I don't believe it. I don't know that it's going to be more of the same. I have a good feeling about Stephanie White. She'll have her bumps and her bruises. And those of you who feel like she shouldn't been chosen, you'll definitely jump on it and point it out. And touche. I mean, that goes with the territory. This is sports, right? You don't get into it if you don't plan to be evaluated and scrutinized, which is something that these players should be able to grasp. I hope they eventually grasp it. This is sports. If you criticize them, hey, that's what happens. So, but yeah, the commissioner needs to go. I agree, because she apologizing to them and all this stuff. And that's something I hope Kaitlin Clark learns as well. I had said before, when they want to make her speak for all the so-called racist people and her white privilege and all sort of stuff, and she gets out, she's got to come back and say something. I'm like, you give them an inch, it'll never be enough. They're going to want you to come back the next time. Now you got to apologize for those people across the street. And the next time, you got to apologize for this troll. Oh, the next time. And you at some point, you got to come and say, listen, I'm here to play basketball and I got no apologies. I can't police the world. Seriously. So, can somebody tell me, is Sophie Cunningham a free agent or no? From Phoenix. Oh, somebody's mentioning her right now. All right, wish Sophie Cunningham. Okay, would come. She's tough and doesn't take up. That's the truth. Is she a free agent? She's not. Somebody says, I think so. No. But Cloud is. She's extended. No, she resigned. Who resigned? Mark, I don't know. Oh, resigned. Okay. I'm sorry. See how those work? See, English. That's why English is one of the most difficult. As the English teacher, one of the most difficult languages in the world to learn. She resigned. You spelled it right. It's just, yeah, you spelled it right, but I need the hyphen. She already resigned. Okay. You need to hook up. He's from, I know. I I know him. I'm familiar with him, with his podcast. I am. She extended her contract with me. Okay. Have you ever heard anything about Diana DT? Have we heard anything about Diana Taurasi? I hope she's retiring, because one thing I cannot stand is when players get up there, give this long speech to the crowd, act like they're leaving, and then they come back the next year. Like, don't get up there and do that if you're not sure. Or maybe a trade. I don't know. But yeah, like this whole speech that you're doing, like Diana Taurasi, well, in case this is the last game I ever play, let me do this. Let me say this. Got my father crying. He comes and he hugs me. Everybody's talking, Diana, all that. And then next season, we got to do it again. Like, for real. Either go or stay. I haven't got no time for this. Go or stay. And so, yeah. So, I'm hoping to figure out how to watch, pay for it, whatever, if it's reasonable, how to watch this Indiana Fever, not the Indiana Fever, the Iowa Hawkeyes, the ladies basketball, because I hear they looking really good. Looks like they're going to be playing up-tempo stuff. So I want to watch them. I want to watch the Indiana Pacers as well. I don't know what Kaitlin's going to do with Unrivaled. And as much as we say, Kaitlin, don't do it, many people feel that if she's doing it, I'm going to be watching. I'll be reporting on it. And we'll find out. I find it interesting that, I don't know, I am not sold out that she's not doing it. I did a video a couple months ago. We'll see. I did a video saying she showed a little something when asked about it, and I saw a little something in what she said. And we'll see what she ends up doing. You know. Nneka Ogwumike is another one who would be a benefit for sure. Yep. Pat Summit has my heart. She'll come back during practice and realize, hell no, I'm out of here, right? Yeah. So Diana, to be 42, honestly, Diana Taurasi did not have the best year. Obviously, she should not have been on the Olympic team, but to be able to even do what she's doing at 40, of course, I was playing, not professionally, but I'm still shooting the ball at 40. I was, I used to say, I'll be 50 saying, give me the rock. But obviously, that's a whole different story than being in a professional playing pickup basketball versus what she has been able to do at 42 years old. You got to give it to her, but I think she needs to step aside. And she should have stepped aside for the Olympics because they shouldn't have put her on the team. But some people think they did that so Kaitlin Clark would never be able to catch her and having the same amount of, trips to the Olympics. I don't know if that's true or not, but Stephanie retired at 27. Stephanie played 5 years in the league. I remember when she was playing. I remember the full name, Stephanie White McCarty, before she divorced her husband. So I remember that. And now it's just Stephanie White, right? I remember a lot of these players when they had 3 names, like Nancy Lieberman Klein, just Nancy Lieberman now, right? I almost gave away your age. You almost gave away your age. Well, I'm a lot older than that. Yeah, I'm older than that. That's okay. I don't mind. I mean, I don't. The getting old part is like, oh my goodness, when did that happen? But yeah, I'm blessed, right? And still was out there shooting the other day. And if it weren't for some of these, the surgeries and stuff that kind of messed up my joints, I'd still be going to the park. Because in my 40s, I was still beating grown men on the court. I'm telling you, they like, oh, it's the girl. And then it didn't take them but about 20 seconds to figure out they better play me differently. Go Design. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday to you. Happy birthday. What do you think about Mabry to the Fever? Yeah, I don't like her personally. I think something about her I know she wanted to get out of Chicago, but there's something about her that I don't care for. I think she's kind of dirty. I don't know. She just seems dirty to me. I don't know for sure that she was trying to like reenact the eye thing when some people they say the other thing. What did he call it again? The something to the head or whatever it was. I don't know. that she might have been doing that. But I don't like her. She's feisty, that's for sure. But yeah, she's a shooter. Yeah, you know what? That might have been when they said they probably were going to fire Teresa Weatherspoon anyway, but because they could see through that double streak thing. But think about it. Mabry said, I want out of here. Mabry went to Connecticut and Mabry kicked the Indiana Fever's tail and they did not adjust. So I don't know how her contract goes. Oh, 3 to the dome. Yeah, that's right. So they'll maul CC if she plays 3-on-3. Either that or they'll become really friendly. Some people talking about bringing Dejanay to the Fever. Stephanie White bringing Dejanay. I'm like, you can keep Dejanay over there. We do not want Dejanay on the Fever. I don't care how much she plays good defense. Don't want Dejanay. Okay? That's a whole issue. No way. And I think Mabry's a no too. FISA didn't treat CC dirty. Not all of those players did. Only a select few. Yeah, exactly. You know what? Blind Melon, that's the thing, right? The negativity causes us to, I mean, it's just in the DNA, like in the culture of the league, and it just makes all of them look bad. And they pride themselves on it. They pride themselves on the hazing and all that. But no, not everybody. Even Diana Taurasi running her mouth. You could tell she had respect for Kaitlin, and Kaitlin busted her tail every time they met. So there's that too. But even the first game, they were talking it up. Too many haters in Unrivaled. Like, she would have to play with Dejanay. Is Dejanay on there? Angel's on there. I don't know. I don't know if I'd put her in the same category as Dejanay, as a hater like that. But there's quite a few players in there. I'm like, really? But my understanding is that they're offering her more than $1 million. More than $1 million to play for, what is it, 2 months? Asia's not playing in Unrivaled, though. Whoever has Reese is going to be in trouble. It will be 3-on-2 while Reese sits under the goal waiting for a rebound. I don't know if you can do that with 3-on-3. So, yeah, chump change for her. But here's somebody who just loves the game. Of course, she doesn't care for 3-on-3, but this isn't like typical 3-on-3. This is like fun 3-on-3. You got 3-on-3 and you get to run just a smaller court, not as long. You get to, 10 weeks, 10 weeks. Okay. I thought it was 8 weeks. I got some said 6, 10, 8. Either way, it's not a lot of time to get $1 million. Yeah. Nafisa Collier's, Marlene is right. Nafisa Collier's husband said, this is not a full court press like some people are taking it to be. Of course, they are the ones who said it. It's not a full court press like that. It just means, listen, we're giving her time to decompress, and there's a spot for her. But they just went from 30 players to 36 because they have more money than they thought they were going to have. So they over or outperformed what they thought. So the money is there. Can you imagine Grindr trying to run full court? She does it all the time. And money isn't everything. But again, yeah, what Ice Cube was offering would be playing with men. Yeah, I never bought into that. Her playing for the guys. Like, I don't believe that women should be playing professionally. One thing in practice, you're doing, on the pickup basketball or whatever, using them in your practice. But professionally, women playing against men, absolutely not. I'm a no. I'm a hard no on that. And it's the same reason why I don't believe transgenders, people who are women, people who are men who are decided that they're going to play against women. No, absolutely not. So no, professionally, just a hard no on that. Satsu Sabali has changed her management to the same team as AB. All right. Well, we're going to find out. I honestly got to tell you, the delay is getting on my nerves. This is November 1st. November 1st. And this league is supposed to start in January. You ain't got no jerseys. Excuse my bad English. You ain't got no jerseys. We don't have all the names. I mean, by now you should be selling tickets. You should be talking about who's on the team, who's on whose team, where can I buy the jersey, and you messing around, adding more players and don't even tell us who they are. It's at the point right now, the only reason anybody gives a hoot is because they're trying to figure out if Kaitlin is coming. And I tell you what, let me tell you this. After stringing the people along this long, if Kaitlin is not on that team, people ain't going to be happy. Because you start to feel like they just strung you along. People won't be happy, and I don't know if they're going to tune in. I'm just saying. Because I'm frankly kind of annoyed. Like, who's on the team, who's not on the team? Kaitlin, you got till tomorrow to tell us if you're on the team. Or next Friday, or whatever you come up with. Are you on the team? Are you not on the team? And if not, then keep it moving. That's what I'm saying. November 1st and the league starts in January and we don't know who's on the team yet? And you still telling Kaitlin there's a spot? And nobody can get a jersey or get any tickets? And they got to go to Miami to watch? I mean, that's just kind of wild. So nobody's watching. CC isn't there. Why do you think they're holding out? I mean, some people will watch. At least the first couple games, right? Because we're interested. We kind of like, I think you're kind of like, what is this going to look like? I know I'm going to tune in just because I'm going to be like, well, what does this look like? Will it hold my attention? I don't know. They're smart though. They got Aaliyah Boston. They've got Lexi Hall. They're trying to get Kaitlin Clark. So, I mean, would it be good for them if they put them on the same team? I heard somebody say, is this a conflict though? If you get your Lexi Hall, Kaitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston on the same team, getting that opportunity to play together, work together, all that stuff, and they got to go back and play against other people. I don't know. I just find, Kate Martin's there. I mean, there are a lot of people on there that people like, but all this pull, like, come on, like, who's on the team? Let's go. So why not Kelsey on the, are you guys talking about Kelsey Mitchell? Kelsey is where's she playing? China, right? I don't know if you were talking about Kelsey Mitchell. I just turned and saw that. Daniel and Adrienne, they're 30 on the team. They just added 3 spots. They added 6. They're going to have 36. So they're going to have the same amount of teams, but they're going to add, right, they're going to add players to those teams, if I understand that right. Oh, yeah, those team names are like, whew, Cheryl, you're right. I like the laces, sounds kind of cool. But other than that, it's like, what are these names? Yeah, Kelsey, I think, is already in China. Timmy is playing in Turkey, I think. Adrienne, the team names are, here we go. Laces, thank you, Jennifer Lane. Laces, Basketball Club, Lunar Owls. What in the world? Lunar Owls Club. Mist Basketball Club. Phantom Basketball Club. I was thinking, please, if I was one of them, don't put me on that team. I ain't wearing no ghosts and goblins on me. Rose Basketball Club and Vinyl Basketball Club. Like, who came up with these names? I like laces. I mean, that's pretty cool because it has the logo has the laces in it. That's cool. But what's with the Lunar Owls? I don't know. Vinyl has the like the record, the old album. But why? But why? Basil said missed layups. Oh, that's good. That's good. Missed layups. Pamela, thank you. Pamela says it's a trick. They won't put Lexi Hall, Aaliyah Boston, and Kaitlin Clark on the same team. And Dejanay Carrington will try to hurt CC in just my opinion. I hope that's not right. I mean, I think you're right about them not putting them on the same team. And I think that's probably smart on their part. Missed layups. I hope AR gets on that one. Missed. Oh, Adrienne. Oh, man. You guys are so rough. Maxi pad Barbies. Oh, my goodness. Does anybody know how to watch the game with Kelsey Mitchell? I don't. But somebody pointed out today that they watched somebody play overseas. They've been watching. I don't know who it is. I got to figure this stuff out. But everything costs money these days. You can't even watch baseball games anymore without, paying for it. Like, what happened to the times where you can just turn on the TV? Just watch. All right. Lunar owls can be Harry Potter reference. Oh, I never watched there. I never watched or read Harry Potter, so I wouldn't know. Maybe. You watch Timmy on FIBA. I got to get myself together and watch some of this stuff. They showed some of what these players are averaging over there. I saw some information on that. So they're doing business. All right. EuroLeague is sometimes available on YouTube. Okay. Please don't bring up the Yankees. I know. I did. You know what, Timothy, they stunk up. They lose a 5-run lead in game, in a do or die game. That's just, they were utterly embarrassed. Utterly embarrassed. So dumb names for these teams. Kelsey is cleaning up. Adrienne Berger highlights were on YouTube. She's doing great. Yeah. That's good. She might have been the one. Is she the one scoring like 13? I think the lowest I saw of these players was like someone averaging 13 a game. Other than that, they're doing pretty well. A choke fan even try helping them. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay with the Garrington jokes. Don't give her any more attention. Yeah. All right, guys. I want to say good night to you. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do. And I know that there are some people who are just, you wish it wasn't Stephanie White. And that's okay. That always is the case. But it is Stephanie White. So now we just got to keep, we're going to be pulling for the fever. It is a new beginning. It's new beginnings, plural. President, GM, coach, and there'll be some players, and they mean business. They expect to win. You don't do what they just did unless you're all in. Who knows what they had to pay to get Stephanie? She had a contract. Will we ever know those details? I don't know. But she's here. All right, everybody. Thank you for every donation, every comment, every just being here. Appreciate that so much. And we'll do some more lives, of course. And obviously look out for those videos and appreciate you. God bless you abundantly. Good night, everybody.